Hello everyone, I've been very busy today. I have already taste tested quite a few products and from the food warehouse, and I now need to hope that there is room for an apple crumble pie. So far as I'm aware, this is the first time I have made an apple crumble. It actually smells quite nice. But I made a blackberry crumble the other week, which I ended up eating in one sitting, and before then a blackberry pie, which I also ate in one sitting. This has three types of apples, I believe. Crab apples, some apples from Ned the neighbour has been leaving apples outside of his house, cooking apples, and I think some apples from Manor Farm Park from when I was foraging and just discovering the area more. I hope it's not too dry. I'm worried I may need some soft cheese. Soft cheese would be a nice compliment anyway, but I say need, meaning it is dry if you have to have soft cheese with it. Shaved a bit of time off because it was getting quite golden. But let's see how it goes, my first ever apple crumble. So this was just this was a BBC Good Food basic apple crumble recipe, which I tweaked slightly because I like being creative and I'm incapable of following instructions or wanting to follow instructions, and I did not have any means of measuring. So I just chucked random amounts of flour and butter, but you can work a lot of it out yourself. But yeah, this is far from precise, and also I had no brown sugar, so I used granulated sugar, and I think I may have used the wrong flour. But because all things considered, and we may have as many as three types of apple, I think it is looking interesting. So let's go in. Okay, that's a bit of crab apple. I'm not sure if you can see, one of the smaller ones. There's one of Ned's cooking apples, I believe, or a portion of it. Now, is that? I think that may need a bit more. That definitely needs more cooking time, I think. Why does that feel like it hasn't been cooked at all? Okay, let's start with this crab apple and the I think this has not gone nearly as well as the blackberry recipes because blackberries are so soft anyway. I think I can taste the cinnamon. That crab apple was nice and tender. They are very small, so very fiddly to remove all of the pips as well. And the crumble is actually quite nice. No, seriously, it is. It's not too bad. But I'm worried about these larger apples, which do not seem to have cooked at all. Let's try a chunk here. I feel that went better than I expected, more smoothly. There was clearly some resistance as I was biting into it, just as you saw with the spoon, and I was trying to, like I'm doing now, even trying to cut up a bit of apple. So the large apples are far from tender, far from soft, but they are eatable, as in you can break them up with your jaw. Still some steam rising, maybe you can see. It has a nice sweetness and, dare I say, a nice apple taste. I've never been a big fan of apples and cannot eat uncooked apples because of my jaw. So I rarely eat apples, but yeah, I should have cut the larger apples, into even smaller pieces. That was one of my mistakes. I just looked at how many apples and crab apples I had to halve and then quarter. Not for the crab apples, you can just halve them. But I was panicking about going through all of that and time ticking and then de-seeding, de-pipping both larger and smaller apples. So the crab apples are coming out quite well out of this. The crab apples are doing quite well in this recipe. We have a softer slice of a larger apple. Can really see the potential with a bit of tweaking, and I did get carried away with how many apples I was chopping. I was just worried about them going mouldy. Still have at least 2 in the fridge, I think. Maybe even 3. So next time, less apples and more crumble. There definitely was not enough crumble. So less apples and chopped into smaller pieces, and more crumble definitely is needed. But yeah, the crab apples do complement the larger ones. They offer something slightly different. They're not too tart, the crab apples. There's quite a bit of sugar in all of this. That crab apple, sure that was a crab apple, but it had the toughness, the resistance of a larger one. I panicked then. I thought I'd forgotten to chop a crab apple, but no, it has been halved. Yeah, this one is also tough. Maybe this is the other half of the half I just ate. But so yeah, it's not cooked evenly. It's not cooked that well. So maybe I should shove it in the oven for another 10 minutes. Although the crumble will become a bit crumbly, extra crumbly. But other than the apples, it's just about edible. I mean, some of it's quite soft. This one's a bit of a softer piece. But they definitely needed more cooking time. But still, it was fun. It was a good experiment. And I'm tasting that beautiful cinnamon here and there. So hopefully I'll be able to do another one soon, because I'm sure I have 3 cooking apples. I have loads of crab apples still, even after chucking 15 or so into here. But yeah, I need to formulate a little and make sure I have less apples overall, more crumble, and chop the apples into smaller pieces. I was just rushing a bit because I was also cooking some taste testing products. Other taste testing products, i.e. ones I've not made myself but purchased from the food warehouse in Selly Oak. But the crumble is good enough, and here's a very, of course, because this piece was right directly underneath the crumble, this piece of apple has a nice cooked smell, and if I can get hold of it, I'll be able to show you and eat it. This is nice and tender. I can tell already. This is much softer. But I will enjoy eating it anyway. Now I vowed not to eat it all in one go this time, like I did with my blackberry crumble and blackberry pie. But I genuinely have no room in the fridge. So do I have to eat it all today? I somehow have to make room in the fridge for my dish. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but maybe if I eat 50% of it and then put the rest in my Pyrex glass container, maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure this out. Until then, I'll just keep on eating, and then I will be hit with something, and then I will glance down at the dish and realise whatever I've just dreamed up is irrelevant because I've eaten the whole thing, so I need only to wash the dish now.